Hey, what's up, guys? Here in the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. I'm your host, Zach Jackson. Now, let's get right to another show I have for you guys today here on Recap Monday. This is Season 5, Episode number 12, powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes the dream yard go. Let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. As you guys can see, I'm repping that Dallas Cowboys jersey. We got CeeDee Lamb on today. I know he didn't have the best of games, but our entire team but the defense really didn't have the best of games, but we pulled through. Jalen Tolbert was a monster guy yesterday when it comes to receiving. We got our running game finally going. Better late than never. Rico Dowell had 89 yards rushing, had a 27, I believe, receiving. He had a total of like 116 total, 120 total yards from scrimmage, and two touchdowns. No, one touchdown from receiving. What a day. What a game. The game was delayed because of lightning strikes in Pittsburgh. It did not start off till like 9:45, 10 o'clock, and the game did not end till 1 o'clock in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. But nonetheless, we got the job done. Cowboys win 20-17 to prove them 3-2 on the season. Our three wins are actually, funny to say it, no pun intended, we are actually 0-3 away. We are 0-3. We are 0-3 at home. And we have won most of our games away, which is absolutely asinine to even say that last year we were 16-0 at home. And this year now we are 0-2 at home. We started 0-3 if you want to go back from last year with the Green Bay. So we're 0-3 since last year. The last three games at home, and we are 3-0 on the road. So we are much better. Our problem last year was we were terrible on the road and against good teams. We've beaten the Browns at their house. Obviously, they're not as good as they were last year. They're pretty atrocious. But first week, everyone thought they were actually pretty good. We beat them at their house. Then we beat the Giants, not a big deal, at their house. And then we beat the Steelers at their house, a very hard place to play. So barring that, guys, I think the Cowboys definitely needed this win. What will show that they're really back on track and ready to roll and things are getting better and every win is getting better is if they take care of Detroit this coming Sunday at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time back in Dallas going into the bye week. That is a big game. If we can go 4-2 going into the bye week to finally come out of the bye week to play San Fran, that would be ideal. But if we lose and we are 3-3 going into the bye week, that is not ideal situation for the Dallas Cowboys. We definitely need to be 4-2, especially with the Giants win yesterday, making them 2-3. With the Eagles, yes, they have a bye, but they're still in the rankings. And Washington improving to 4-1 on top of the NFC East. Cowboys definitely got to win against the Lions. It's not a must win, but it would be great to go into the bye week with a win. But a little synopsis of on how Dak played. He didn't play really well. Obviously, there was a lot of miscommunication. It was very hard to play, but he felt like I kept seeing he was seeing footsteps. There was times where he was moving and like pump faking. There was nobody there. And then when there's nobody, there is people, guys. He's not moving. There was a lot of weird stuff going on. First the fumble inside the 20. Then we had the pick inside the 20. Then we had the pick on the long ball, which I don't know where he was throwing the ball to. But nonetheless, he drove us down the field, got us into position 4th and goal with the seconds remaining, and to score the game-winning touchdown. So I'll take it. Not a very hard-fought win, but not a great win. A great win, but not a good, like it's a great win because of the significance behind it and who we beat, but it's not a good win overall because we didn't play at our best, if that makes sense. But our defense stepped up big time when we're losing 4 starters on defense. It was huge that the defense showed up, and they showed up against a pretty hot, like they weren't like a crazy offense. But Justin Fields has been doing his thing. The Steelers have been doing this thing. They scored the previous week 24 points against the Colts. I believe in the second half, they scored almost all those points. So they're a really up and down team offensively. Their defense is stacked. Obviously, we saw it. We couldn't really move the ball. We moved the ball, but when it came down to the 20-yard line or less, we shrank and we couldn't get the job done. But again, nonetheless, guys, we got the win, and that's all that mattered. So, guys, that was our first segment here on the show, just recapping the Cowboys and really my thoughts on the Cowboys and how big of a win this was against a formidable opponent and one of our arch rivals who we played in the Super Bowl numerous times in the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we're going to take a short break and we're going to move to our next segment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get to a lot of injuries, a lot of stuff that happened right before Sunday. There was a lot of news about who's not going to play, how long they're going to be out for. So let's get right into the news that happened on Friday. We already know Malik Neighbors was ruled out versus the Seahawks with a concussion. How offense will operate without him. They didn't operate that bad. They won the game against Seattle. So that really wasn't a bad thing. We'll see if he can get cleared and get back into the swing of things. But Malik Neighbors and the Giants have a really good offense. They just need to click on all cylinders consistently. If they can play the way they played against Seattle, in Seattle, scoring 29 points, they can beat some teams. They certainly almost beat my Cowboys a week ago. So, I mean, they have an opportunity. They just have to play consistent. That's the problem that I don't think they can, is playing consistent is not in their ballpark. And then we also had running back Jonathan Taylor ruled out for the Jaguars game. Trey Sermon to start in his place, which he did. As we all know, the Colts, Jonathan Taylor, Colts did not get the win. The Jaguars got their first win of the season against the Colts. Now, this injury, little weird. This guy was once said the best running back in the league, dealing with a banged up quarterback and running back as they prepare for Jacksonville this week. And one has already been ruled out. Colts coach Sean Stiction told reporters Jonathan Taylor won't suit up due to his ankle injury. This guy's been dealing with a lot of injuries of late over the last couple of years, but a couple of years ago was considered the best running back in the league. So in that case, I would definitely say that there is some concern for the Colts. Anthony Richardson can't stay healthy. They had Joe Flacco start again, and now Jonathan Taylor is out with injuries. So it's just not a recipe for success. They got to get healthier. It's a good team. They have a good defense. They have a good overall offense. They just need people healthy, and that's their problem. Now, Aaron Rodgers pushing the Jets to land Davante Adams. That is a big thing. As early as next week, Jonathan Jones, there will be a decision on Davante Adams' trade. So we will see whether Davante goes to the Jets, or does he stay with Vegas, or do they trade him to another team. I would think that they're going to trade him to the Jets. We will know in this coming week. So supposedly, per Jonathan Jones, he said that on Friday. So we'll see if that actually happens. But the Patriots made a surprise. They made a running back change. Ramon Stevenson, who has fumbled in every game this season, will not start versus the Dolphins, which they did in week 5. So they made a complete 180 swing, 360 swing. They took out Ramon Stevenson. I remember I was telling you guys for the first 2 weeks, Ramon Stevenson was really good, but his fumbling and turnovers are just god-awful. So they said, nah, we out with that. So Ramon Stevenson was done as the starter. Packers. This is a little bit of a weird one. Packers wide receiver reportedly upset with a role on offense. Romeo Doubs skips multiple practices and was doubtful and did not play in that Packers game on Sunday. So we'll see what happens with Romeo Doubs. Doesn't look like he's getting enough playing time, and he thinks that he should be. Joe Flacco, we all knew, started for Anthony Richardson. When will Anthony Richardson get healthy? Will the Colts be a somewhat contending team if Anthony Richardson is healthy? I don't think so. Anthony Richardson started out the year healthy, and his accuracy has been totally off this year. He was never a big accurate quarterback, but he looked much better last year. This year, it's not really looking too good. So we'll see with that. Yesterday, we had news. Vikings running back Aaron Jones ruled out of the game with a hip injury. Ty Chandler will take on the workload. So we'll see if Aaron Jones will be able to come back next week. That was a big part of their offense. They still got the win over the Jets, but their running game was very sluggish in that game against the Jets. They definitely need Aaron Jones back if they want to compete. I mean, they're 5-0. If Kansas City loses tonight, they will be the only 5-0 team, I believe, left in the NFL. Who would have thought? Minnesota has been since 5-0. Last time they were 5-0 was 2016. So we got to go 8 years back since they were 5-0 on this hot start. So let's see if they can keep it up. But Aaron Jones going down is a big loss. Let's hope he's not out for a significant time. Now, Rodgers, staying with that same game, ankle sprain, low ankle sprain. Not an ideal situation for Aaron Rodgers. Reports he suffered a low ankle sprain. I saw the move, man. He got pinned underneath and turned back. It was very scary if you were a Jets fan or even a fan of football, because everyone we've been rooting for Aaron Rodgers to get back and ready to roll for the Jets, and it just hasn't panned out. They're 2-3, not looking good overall on offense. Defense is okay, but not as good as they were last year, and their offense is absolutely much better than last year's, but still not to where the level that they thought it was going to be. So we'll see if Aaron Rodgers gets taken out this week or whatever. I doubt it, but that's a possibility. Dolphins running back Devon Achane is in concussion protocol, has been ruled out versus the Patriots. So he's in concussion. So he's definitely missing the following week, this week coming up. Texans have downgraded star receiver Nico Collins to out with a hamstring injury during the game yesterday. He had a 67-yard bomb from C.J. Stroud, came up limping after he scored the touchdown. So we'll see if he misses significant time. But Texans are 4-1. C.J. Stroud hasn't had an electrifying season like he did last year, but they're still getting wins, and that's really all that matters. Now, what I want to get to tell you is that they have also confirmed it's week to week with a hamstring issue for Nico Collins. So we'll see, like I said, whether he stays out for this week coming up or he's put in. Now, the Cowboys, Jordan Lewis locked down George Pickens for he held to 26 yards receiving, the least output of season, and got into an altercation with Dallas's DB at the end. Dude, he was just celebrating after we got the fumble off the lateral. And yeah, he turned to him, but George Pickens took him by the face mask and ripped him down. There's no need for that. That's just a sore loser, can't take losing, and doesn't understand the situation of football. So I'm surprised he hasn't been fined yet, or really whatever. That there's no place in the game for that. That's just messed up. But we got the win. Big props for Lewis. Step up big, locking down the best receiver on their team in George Pickens. Band's a dog. For him to be able to do that, it takes guts. And then we had a big injury for Dallas on the side of after last night's game. We had defensive end Marshawn Neeland suffered a knee injury on Sunday. He's expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks per head coach Mike McCarthy. So that's a big loss for us, especially with Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence out. He was one of our rookies, a big standout guy in practice over the offseason. So the fact now he's injured, really can't get anything going. So he's going to be out for a significant amount of time. So we'll see what happens with that. But we came out with the win. It's really all that mattered. Didn't want to lose our guys. But, hey, it comes with the job, right? It comes with the job. But at the same time, I would also say that the Cowboys got some big win. But obviously the last 2 weeks have not been ideal because we have not been able to stay healthy. We've lost at least 4 or 5 guys. We almost lost Zack Martin yesterday. That would have been bad, but he came back. It was just cramps because of lack of hydration. Same with Trayvon Diggs last week. But, yeah, I think that's pretty much that, guys, for our second segment here on the pod. Let's move on to our third and final segment on today's show. All right, guys, we are moving on to our third and final segment on today's show. We're going to go over the MLB playoffs because we got to go over my picks, man. Guys, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. If you're watching my TikToks, if you're watching the YouTube show, if you're watching Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and if you're watching Instagram, you got to know that since the divisional round series started, I have not missed a pick. I got the first game with the Guardians demolishing the Tigers 7-0. The Mets took down the Phillies in a big upset in game 1, 6-2. Called that one. Yankees with a big monster win in game 1 against the Royals. What a matchup it was in the Bronx, winning 6-5. The Dodgers win, come back from down 5-3 in the 6th inning, I think, or in the later innings, winning the game 7-5. We are 4-0 in the first 4 games of the division round series. Then we get to yesterday when the Phillies took down the Mets in a monster bottom of the 9th inning, a double to round the bases to get the guy home. I got that win. We're 5-0. Phillies won 7-6. They tied up the series, which I called. Then I called the Padres taking down the Dodgers. Didn't expect the Dodgers to fold like this, But I expected the Padres to win, which they did, winning 10-2 to tie up the series, 1 game apiece. Padres hit 6 home runs that game. And then just now, after a 3-run homer, literally, with a 9th inning 3-run homer in the top of the 9th, the Tigers hit a 3-run homer to win 3-0 over the Guardians, and they tie up the series 1-1. I said it. It was 0-0 in the 4th inning when I made my pick just an hour and a half ago, and I called the Tigers were going to win. It wasn't like the Tigers were winning. They were tied 0-0. Nobody scored, and I picked the Tigers to win, and they did it in dramatic fashion in the 9th inning, 3-0. The only series that will not go to to a tie series will be the Yankees tonight, where the Yankees will go up 2-0 in best of 5 series against the Royals at 7:38 p.m. Eastern Time. That tips off in about 40 minutes on the dot. So, guys, you guys should be definitely tuning in to the picks because I can make you guys a lot of money with these bets, especially just the pick'ems of these games is going nuts right now. Let me guys know in the comment section who's your favorite MLB team. On top of that, who do you guys got winning this World Series and who do you got winning being in the World Series? And also, out of the games right now, who do you got winning these divisional rounds? Because, man, we have some great series upon us. All series, except for the Yankees and Royals, yet are tied 1 game apiece. What a game. What a pick'em for Zack Jackson here on the Fire Sports Pod. So tomorrow, we have a great outing. We got the Phillies and the Mets at 5:08. Then we got the Dodgers and the Padres at 9:08. So right now, I'm going to let you guys know it's tied 1 game apiece. Back to New York. I'm taking the Mets winning game 3, going up 2-1. And then I'm going to also take the Dodgers going back to San Diego and beating the Padres in San Diego. I got the Dodgers going up 2-1. I think both of these series go to 5. And I think the Mets and I think the Dodgers win. If you're a Mets fan, you want the Dodgers to lose and the Padres to win. If you're a Phillies fan, I think you want anybody. It don't matter. They just got to get past the Mets. Those are my picks for tomorrow's games. Go check it out. Let me know what you guys think. But other than that, guys, that is pretty much it here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. I'm your host, Zack Jackson, here on Recap Monday, Season 5, Episode number 12. We are powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes the dream yard go. Cowboys got a big win today, yesterday night. Well, actually today, since it ended at 1 a.m. Big win today. And we move on to the next. Let's go Cowboys. Let's go Yankees. Yankees taking the dub tonight. Telling you guys, Yankees got this all day, every day. I'll catch you guys on the next podcast, which would be Season 5, Episode number 13 on Wednesday. Go check it out. I'll see you guys then. Peace out.